Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Duggins and Diggets, it's your boy, Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. And everyone, thank you all for waiting. It's been a long time. We haven't uploaded any videos. You haven't even heard anything about me, seen hide nor hair. However, we'll get to the nitty-gritty of that at the end of the video because for the most part, people want to see what it is and what it ain't about the Nightshade Paolumu. Anyway, so with that being said, let's start it off right here. I will say this monster is going to put you to sleep. So if you don't have pep jewels for decorations, you should totally get some and gem them into your armor set. I recommend you do this like way before you fight the monster, okay? If you would please watch this video first, then fight the monster, because just having pep jewels is going to save your entire existence. This fight, the whole video, the raw footage for this video was 22 minutes and like 50 seconds or something like that. Simply because fighting him was a arduous chore. Going to sleep is something that just happens like a lot. He puts the smoke, the sleep gas? He puts the sleep gas down, and he definitely lets you fall victim to it. I mean, he puts it out in a multitude of different areas. He can push it with him blowing like the air that he inhales in his body that helps him float. He's a little ridiculous when it comes to the sleep. So I will say this, because of his insane ability to do so and for him to capitalize on it, he is the mix-up king. I was getting the mix. I was getting the bus ass. I was getting smacked. This monster right here has stressed me to the point of, oh my goodness, I was so stressed out fighting this monster. I didn't know what he was all about. Now that I know what he's about, I'm definitely going to recommend you guys come here with pep jewels at the absolute bare minimum, because if you do not, you're going to have a bad time. Now, I probably won't say that it will be the catalyst of you carding. I don't think I carded in this hunt. I'm pretty sure I did. I think my first card was actually to a flagship monster from the 4th generation. Hint, hint, wink, 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 wink. I'm that far ahead before making this actual video right here. But I got close. I got really, really close, and it really, really, really sucks because there's so much sleep gas everywhere. But we get ahead of ourselves. Let's actually tone it back down. So Nightshade Paolumu is actually one of the first subspecies you actually get to fight in the game. He is the subspecies that I don't even know how to pronounce the actual monster's real name. We just call him Paul. So he's the subspecies to Paul. I'm sure everyone's going to correct me on how to pronounce his name in the comment section. Feel free to do so. I don't care. But he's the subspecies to Paul. And the cool thing with him is that he has a darker aesthetic. If Paul was white, my man is like, I heard purple and like blackish and like really, really dark colors. The whole Nightshade part, if you will. So his weaknesses are actually a little bit different from that of Paul. He's actually, well, not too different, but he's actually weak to fire and water. Everything else, he has a basic resistance to like 5 or so. So I'd recommend you guys coming here with a little bit of fire and or water. At this point in time, I don't really know if you have any fire or water, or any G rank fire, master rank fire or water. You might. If you do, then bring those. If you don't, I just recently fought the Viper Tobikadachi, and it gave me paralysis, paralysis gun lance. I'm pretty sure it has some poison weapons in there as well. I will say status weapons work very well against them indeed. Now, I won't say vastly like superior to that of like normal elemental weapons, but they do work efficiently enough to actually work and benefit you. I mean, I know I kind of danced around that same phrase twice, but bring those at the bare minimum if you can't actually bring a weapon that is actually particularly weak against. So that way you actually have a means to protect yourself, because he's a bit of an issue when you go to fight him and you're really struggling to actually do any real damage. And when you have the poison helps with the damage, and you have the paralysis helps with setting up. So with that said, that's actually really nice. I recommend doing these things. Oh wait, I did I 0.5 carded. I had to get the little nectar to bring your boy back to life, but I didn't like full on lose money card. Shout out to the nectar. That stuff is OD. But I'll say that outside of really going here with his weaknesses, you're really gonna have to understand what it's like to fight Paul. And the craziest thing about fighting this monster is not a lot of people actually fought Paul back in the day because he was a useless monster. I mean, he didn't have anything. The only thing he had of any worth was, or anything to note of rather, was artillery and certain pieces of his armor. And I mean, by the time you actually got the high rank, you already knew what monster you're going to get your artillery from, or you're going to use a talisman, which most people eventually did. So it wasn't super duper useful to fight Paul. So if you're unfamiliar with fighting Paul, it's going to be a bit of an issue due to his actual moveset and how he actually maneuvers in the air and things like that. So I'd recommend you guys take it relatively slow, bring pep jewels so that way you can actually feel out what it takes to fight him, because he's going to stay in the air quite a bit, and he has more than just your standard suite of like tail slam attack while he's in the air, bring himself back to the ground. He will actually stay in the sky and actually lunge his tail at you from the sky and hopes to actually smack you with it. Very akin to, if you guys remember playing Monster Hunter Generations, I'm gonna say Generations Ultimate, Gen U if you will, Astalos has an ability where he'll be flying in the air, he'll lunge his tail at you, and while he's flying in the air, if you will, he'll be hovering, he'll lunge his tail at you, and he'll probably cause paralysis and things like that. I think there's another monster who did the same thing, but Astalos just comes off the mind really quickly. Paul has an attack similar to that. He doesn't give any effect with it, it's just another means for him to actually attack while it's also in the sky. I think Kush has the same thing in this game. I'm not 100% certain. I actually forgot. I haven't played this game in like almost a month. Like Dead Serious almost a month, so I'm a little rusty on the brain when it comes to remembering what the monsters can and cannot do, but for the most part, that's what you have to really deal with when you work with Paul. If you can get around the fact that you are probably going to fall asleep if you don't bring the pep jewels, and you're going to be definitely put in very anti-advantageous situations, i.e. bad situations that you very well may cart in, you're going to have a tough ride for you. But if you have the pep jewels, I won't say it makes him into like a complete laughing stock, but he's still very crafty in his abilities. So once you get outside of the sleeping and everything, and his tail swipes and whatnot in the air, he has one last attack that I lovingly refer to the rebound. Now, the only way I was able to properly explain this particular attack is if you guys ever play Kingdom Hearts. Now, preferably, I'm going to say Kingdom Hearts 1 and maybe 2, because I don't really know about any of the other ones, but I do know that there is this balloon type Heartless. And he has a particular attack where every now and then, it's not a super common attack that he'll do, but every now and then he'll just rebound. He'll bounce around, like not bounce around. I'll put a clip on the screen for you, but he'll do this maneuver in the air in the means to attack you. Paul does the same thing. It's a really cool attack, all things considered. I was actually taken aback. I was like, wow, that's actually pretty interesting for him to actually have the attack right here. It does hurt. Okay, it does hurt. It makes it kind of difficult to actually gauge the trajectory of it because he does it so quickly, and it actually covers a pretty decent area. And if you're within, I guess, any measure of you trying to defeat him, i.e. in his face, you're probably hit by it, and you may or may not take a huge chunk of damage in card, or just, you know, you might be lucky not get hit with it at all. Again, it's a random kind of thing. He won't hit you indefinitely. He may do the attack right in front of your face, and he might slightly miss you on all sides. It's kind of one of those things. But outside of that, that's pretty much all you really need to know about Paul. Bring pep jewels, and you're gonna have a lot easier time. If you don't bring pep jewels, you're going to catch the mix. Okay, you're going to get cooked. My man, he was giving me the bus ass for a minute. Grinding his gear was a chore, because I don't know why. It went to like my third hunt that I realized, hey Dak, how about you just put in pep jewels so that way you're sleep resistant. But anyway, let's move over to his armor, because his armor is actually pretty decent. By pretty decent, I mean it actually caters exactly towards him, and the one thing he does, that is put you to sleep. So off the rip, when we look at the alpha joint, we see first and foremost wide range maxed out. That's wide range 5. So that's actually a very good skill if you're playing with a bunch of friends and you're trying to, like, you know, be that support type of person. Wide range allows you to take items like potions and things like that and share the benefits of these items with all your teammates. So you could take a demon drug and everyone else gets the effects of a demon drug up to a certain percentage type, but being at level 5 you get the full effect. So that's actually really cool. Next, we're looking at Sleep Attack 3, which is maxed out Sleep Attack 3. The way in which the elemental in the element, well, the status view, well, the status stacking actually works in this game is a little different than it used to back in the day. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't fully understand it. However, I do know that the more you have, the better it is. I know that sounds very stupid, but there's when percents go into it, math goes into it, and I'm not very math inclined. Your boy's kind of a dumb guy, but just know Sleep 3 is actually pretty solid. You're going to have a lot of fun with it, and it's actually very good for this particular set if you are going to use any of his actual weapons, because a lot of his weapons are actually very good when it comes to sleep. They have high sleep, if you will. Next, we look at sleep resistance, and truth be told, it is a galling thing. They don't even give you maxed out sleep resistance. You actually have to put one more jewel in there to get the full sleep resistance. As it stands, you're 60%. It helps you at a 60% rate as opposed to 100% rate being completely negated by the sleep, so that's kind of bonk. Then we're looking at maximum might too. Now maximum might was a fantastic skill back in the day. It got a nerf in this game, and I mean, it's not a bad nerf. It's just that if you consume stamina, your buff will go away. By that, if you like roll, if you run, if you do any type of attack that actually consumes stamina, like the lance charge and whatever and so on and so forth, what you really actually have to do is not actually use any stamina, and you get the benefit of it. And last but not least, we have weakness exploit, and we all know what weakness exploit is about. Gives you additional crit on your crit, so that's actually pretty dope. So his armor set for the beta is obviously essentially all the same, just weaker points into it, and you get to mix and match because the beta allows you to actually have the level 4 decoration slots, so that's cool. I mixed and matched a bit. I got a couple of alpha, I got a couple of beta to kind of go with the set that I really want. I didn't really care too much for wide range. I'm usually a solo kind of player, and honestly, even when I play with my friends, believe it or not, I don't actually heal anyone else. I know, Dak, what the heck, bro, what's wrong with you? I know. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't take life powders. I'm sorry, I'm a scumbag. But I will say this, the armor is decent. You can get somewhere with it. The next couple of fights you actually will be pretty good when you use the armor. So yeah, maybe you might want to run it and actually have a good time. I will say this, the next fight after this, turn that monster into mince meat, because this armor was just, in a team setting, it's ridiculous because of the armor and the weapons put together. You're just going to like decimate this next monster. Not gonna tell you who it is. We'll get to that video soon. But with that being said, that's everything I really much have to tell you about the Puka Puka. His weapons are actually pretty solid. They are like the best sleep weapons in the game. They give a lot of sleep. I mean, raw, the lance has 440 sleep. And when you add in the sleep attack and everything, I think I get it to like 610 or something like that. Some really ridiculous number. So when you fully max out the weapon, all the way maxed out, like full on max, you might get upwards to like 700 on certain weapons. Maybe like, let's say 300 or maybe 400 on like things like dual blades. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that weapons like dual blades and sword and shield, they seem to nerf the status because it's a lot. Every hit gives a chance to actually give the status, and if you have like 600 status on some dual blades, whatever monster you're fighting is going to have a very bad time. So with that being said, everyone, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Thank you so much for coming and watching and checking out the video. I will say now, the main video is over. I'm going to tell you guys what happened to me and why I was gone for 3 weeks. So this is something that happened to me. I went on, I'm not gonna say an excursion, but I needed to actually take care of some business, some personal business, some seriously personal business that has been ailing me for like the past 11 months. And I told myself now would be a good time to do it, and I didn't expect for it to take this long. I figured maybe at worst a week, but it was something I super needed to do because it's been detrimental to my health and my life for like, again, 11 months, and I really needed to take care of. However, I did get most of it taken care of somewhat. It took a lot longer than I expected, hence 3 weeks. It was supposed to just be like a 1 week kind of thing, maybe a 2 weeks tops. And I want to say like at the end of it all, I got most of it worked out, but we're still not completely done. And then at the end of it, I wouldn't even say the end of it, I only made it to the end, quote unquote, right now because I was so tired of the delays, the setbacks, and then a huge negative thing that happened at the very end, and I just got tired of it. So I decided to kind of give up on trying to save myself in that one point in time and actually just come back home and just start, because I wasn't actually home. I should note, I was not home. I was not in my own house for 3 weeks. I wasn't even in my own bed. I slept on a couch for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? And I really need to get this thing done, but I didn't quite get it done. So I'll figure something out later in the meantime. But as it stands, we're gonna go back to making videos on time. I'm going to try and catch up because I have a heck of a lot of catching up to do. Everyone's already beaten the game, but I still have yet to make really any videos about it. So I'm still gonna knock out all the videos for every monster as I go through it, because I mean, every video is somebody's first video. Somebody might be picking up the game as of like today because, you know, they didn't have the time, the money, the resources, whatever to get it back then. But, you know, it is what it is. So what we're going to do, we're just going to continue as normal. We are going to reboot we're going to start up again the monster analysis videos where I sit down and talk to you guys why this monster is so great. Again, we're doing flagship monsters first. Afterwards, we'll probably branch out to other notable monsters, but the next one is going to be Bracky. So if you guys like Bracky, you're going to hear me talk about Bracky. Do I like Bracky? He's my second favorite monster type, Brute Wyverns, but I don't particularly like him that much. It's not gonna be like it's not gonna be a diss video, okay? These videos are not meant to be diss videos. These videos are meant to really look at these type of monsters and like how they perform within the environment. But it is what it is. Nevertheless, thank you guys so much for watching. Even the guys who actually stayed to the end. Maybe in another video I will probably sit back and actually I don't even know, like the stuff that I actually had to go through was rough, and because I didn't get it fixed, I'm actually in dire straits, if you will. But I'm going to figure out a way to get around that, so that way we can keep going as usual and everything's gonna be fine. But with that being said, it's been your boy. I'll talk to y'all later in the next video. The next video, I said I wasn't gonna tell you, but since you guys made it this far, it's going to be Coral Puke Puke. Obviously, what else is next? But Coral Puke Puke will be next. The video won't be as long. It'll just be me smacking it really hard, and we're gonna get straight to brass tags, do the information, and call it a day. After that, we're going to continue on per normal, and then we're going to release the monster analysis video on a Sunday. So we're not going to release a video on. We're not going to release a video. Maybe on. We might release one video on Friday. No videos on Saturday. Give me time to do recording and everything like that. And then we'll release the monster analysis video on Sunday. I'm going to try and release monster analysis videos every Sunday because I feel like that's a really good time, really good date. Just to kind of have a video like that where I just have an honest conversation with you guys about a monster. It really is a lot of information that comes from the heart, off my chest, and from actual written documents, things like that. But it is what it is. Wow, I talked through this entire video. I didn't think I was gonna talk through the entire video. Hey, I talked to you guys for a whole video. Anyway, since we made it to the end of the video, wow, I don't look at the screen. I look into my microphone and speak. But yeah, we did the whole video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and everyone for making it this far. It's been your boy. Thank you for your continued support. I will probably ask you guys for a favor soon. Like real soon. So look into your heart and help a brother out. Take care.